On the African savanna, lions are considered top predators, distinguished by their strength, speed, and calculated approach. Each attack is swift and precise, aiming to finish off their prey before it can react. However, not every approach goes as planned. In many cases, the environment, the prey's reflexes, and biological limitations cause the attack to fail, reversing the balance of survival. African buffalo are herbivores with a tightly structured social system and the ability to assess long-term threat. A mature individual typically weighs over 1,000 pounds, moves in large herds, and rarely separates from the group. When faced with a threat, buffalo do not react hastily, but maintain their position to protect each other. Lions approach from the edge of the herd, seeking opportunities to create chaos. A familiar tactic is to pressure an individual, forcing it to leave the group. However, in open space and against an organized buffalo herd, this approach quickly reveals its risks. The buffalo do not flee. They advance in a controlled manner, maintaining short distances between individuals and focusing their attention on the danger. The fact that a young lion is trapped near the herd shows that the buffalo are not just reacting immediately, but are actively eliminating the future threat. It was only when a tree unexpectedly fell that the situation changed. This wasn't the result of tactics or strength, but a random environmental event. The lion was forced to retreat when the opportunity was gone. In nature, survival is sometimes determined by timing and luck, not just by strategy or strength. Rhinoceroses are among the largest animals on the African savanna, with massive bodies, thick skin, and hard horns that act as a natural defense mechanism. They are not predators, but they have almost no obvious weaknesses for others to exploit. When a lion appears, the rhino doesn't hunt or pursue. The approach stems from an extremely sensitive sense of smell, reacting to the scent of meat and the predator's scent in the air. This is risk control behavior, aimed at identifying and repelling a potential threat. The lioness quickly assesses the situation. The distance is close, but the probability of harm is too high. As the rhino continues to advance at a steady pace, the lioness chooses to retreat. It's a correct decision, not a lack of resolve. Even male lions wouldn't risk such an opponent. A rhinoceros is a mobile weapon, leaving no openings and not worth the risk. The approach ends in silence. In nature, even top predators know when to back down when the risks exceed acceptable limits. Hyenas survive on the savanna by exerting pressure through numbers and coordinated behavior. A single individual may not be physically imposing, but when operating in large groups, they create enough psychological pressure to influence the reactions of surrounding species. When a lion appears, hyenas don't seek direct confrontation. They maintain distance, circle around, and observe the situation. In this scenario, the male lion doesn't need to attack or approach. Its mere presence is enough to change the dynamics. the psychological pressure shifts rapidly. Hyenas, despite their numerical advantage, clearly recognize the power hierarchy before them. The lion's deep growl, steady stance, and confidence convey a clear message of its accumulated dominance. No clash occurs. The hyenas gradually disperse, choosing to retreat rather than continue exerting pressure. In nature, conflicts often end before violence occurs, if one party understands its place within the ecological order. Crocodiles are dominant predators in rivers and swamps. Their short stature, strong muscles, and powerful jaws give them absolute control over the aquatic environment. In the water, crocodiles don't need high speed. They rely on position and timing to gain an advantage. As the lion approaches the riverbank, the balance of power begins to shift. On land, the lion has speed and the ability to evade. But once it steps into shallow water, those advantages quickly disappear. Movement slows, reflexes are limited, and the escape space narrows significantly. The crocodile doesn't need to finish immediately. Its goal is simply to drag its opponent into deeper water, where all the advantages belong to the ambusher. Faced with this threat, the lion realizes that each step forward increases the risk exponentially. The approach ends prematurely. The lion retreats from the water's edge, abandoning its intention when the opportunity is no longer within its control. Both are top-tier assassins, but each species is only invincible within its own environment. In nature, territory determines dominance, not reputation or sheer strength. Giraffes are the tallest herbivores on the savanna, with long legs and incredibly powerful kicks. Their exceptional physique allows them to observe far and control their surroundings. When danger arises, giraffes don't always have safe space to escape. When a lion approaches, the giraffe doesn't turn and flee. Instead, it maintains its position and adjusts its posture, ready to react. In a confined space, running away can increase the risk rather than decrease it. The kicks are not intended for pursuit or reckless attack. The goal is to create distance, forcing the lion to stay safe and preventing it from getting closer. Each movement is controlled, utilizing height and reach to maintain a defensive advantage. The situation ends when neither side advances further. The lion retreats when it realizes the risks outweigh the benefits. The giraffe continued to move at a slow pace. This was active defense, not recklessness. In nature, sometimes standing firm is more effective than running away. Wilds are herbivores with a thick body structure, strong shoulders, and high stress tolerance. They aren't known for their burst of speed, but they possess great endurance and a strong biological response when cornered in dangerous situations. In moments of tension, the wildebeest's body releases adrenaline, increasing muscle strength and blurring the sensation of pain. When a young lion approaches, it assumes its prey is exhausted after the chase. This is a common assessment among inexperienced individuals. In many hunts, this assessment is enough to end the approach. But when the wildebeest unexpectedly turns back to fight, the roles are instantly reversed in seconds. The strong and decisive movements completely disrupt the lion's approach. Faced with this unexpected situation, the young lion chooses to retreat early, prioritizing safety over continuing the risk. The approach ends in silence. The lion leaves when it realizes the risks outweigh the benefits. Not all prey will accept a fate when cornered. In nature, experience in assessing risk is just as important as physical strength. Hippopotamuses are herbivorous animals with a semi-aquatic lifestyle, spending most of their time in rivers and swamps. They don't hunt, but are known for their high aggression when intruders enter their territory. Their massive size, large jaws, and quick reflexes make hippopotamuses one of the most dangerous opponents around water sources. When the lion approached the riverbank, its initial goal wasn't clearly to hunt, but to gauge the hippopotamus's reaction. However, in a short time, the hippopotamus immediately demonstrated control of the space. Its proactive movements and unyielding attitude showed that it was not an opponent that could be easily intimidated. The lion quickly reassessed the situation. There was no safe approach angle, no obvious weak point, and every step forward increased the risk of serious injury. Faced with this reality, the lion chose to retreat, avoiding a confrontation that offered no chance of victory. The encounter ended without direct conflict. The hippo continued to control its territory, while the lion left to seek other opportunities. In another species' territory, even the top predator is forced to retreat. Zebras are herbivores with a high level of collective reflexes and a fierce ability to react when their young are in danger. Their strong bodies, powerful legs, and constant vigilance mean they don't rely solely on fleeing. For a mother, zebra, protecting her offspring is the absolute priority. When a lion approaches and tries to separate her cub from the herd, the reaction isn't one of retreat. The mother zebra immediately turns around and charges directly at the threat. These quick approaches and decisive movements force the lion to retreat to avoid unnecessary risk. Faced with direct pressure, the lion abandons its target. This isn't a failure, but a choice for survival. Continuing the approach could lead to serious injury, affecting its ability to hunt later. The encounter ends in a few brief moments. The mother zebra brings her cub back to the group, while the lion leaves. In nature, knowing when to give up is also a vital survival skill to be able to hunt again tomorrow. Hunting is not just an action, but a series of consecutive choices under high pressure. A small misstep in timing or distance can reverse the entire situation. Retreating at the right time helps predators avoid irreparable losses. On the savanna, knowing when to stop is just as important as knowing when to advance.
On the vast African savanna, every day is a struggle for survival. Lions, symbols of power, not only hunt, but also face a variety of challenges, from prey to competitors. Each attack is a testament to strategy, strength, and sacrifice. The following stories reveal some of the most dramatic moments where instinct dictates everything. Leopards are solitary, fast, and cautious predators. They are good at hiding and climbing, but are often at a disadvantage in confrontations with lions. To avoid risk, leopards often drag their prey up trees where the lions can't catch up. However, this plan doesn't always succeed. One quiet afternoon, a leopard had just brought down a small antelope near the edge of the forest. As it was trying to drag its prey up a tree, a lioness approached from a distance. Without a long chase, the lioness's quick steps and decisive gaze were enough to create pressure. The leopard, sensing danger, didn't try to hold on to its meal and immediately climbed to a higher branch. The lioness approached, inspected the prey, and began to use her newly acquired meal. Everything happened in silence, without conflict or injury, but the outcome was clear. Approximately 10 to 15% of a lion's diet comes from these kinds of quick, decisive, and advantageous competitions. This demonstrates that in the wild, victory doesn't always require absolute strength. Sometimes simply being in the right place at the right time is enough to change the course of events. Wildebeest are migratory animals, often moving in herds of hundreds to find new pastures. Weighing between 500 and 600 pounds, they are an ideal food source for large predators, especially lions. However, their quick reflexes and high alertness make them difficult to approach. One morning, as the herd rested near shallow water, a young wildebeest lagged behind. A lioness silently approached. Without roaring or unnecessary movement, she closed the distance with light, crawling steps. When the time was right, the lioness accelerated suddenly. The impact was so strong it threw the wildebeest off balance. With familiar movements, the lioness subdued the prey's head, holding it tightly so it couldn't get up. The hunt was over in less than a minute. However, a delay of just a few seconds would mean the opportunity was lost. In some cases, the appearance of a male lion with superior strength and speed can change the outcome in an instant. This story illustrates that, in the wild, decisiveness is key to survival. Kudus are one of the largest antelope species in Africa. With their large size, long, spiral horns, and excellent reflexes, Kudus are not easy to subdue. However, when alone or near watering spots during the dry season, the risk of ambush increases significantly. One scorching afternoon, a male kudu approached the water's edge. From a distance, a lioness had already located her target. She silently approached through the low bushes, moving cautiously and without making a sound. As the kudu lowered its head to drink, the lioness suddenly accelerated. A precise lunge to its hind leg caused the kudu to lose its balance. Just seconds later, its neck was subdued, ending its journey in silence. Kudus have a physical advantage, but a moment of carelessness can cost that advantage. In the wild, lions know that timing is everything, and this time, patience paid off. Zebras are one of the lion's most familiar prey. They live in large herds, providing a steady supply of food, enough to sustain the entire group for days. Weighing between 400 and 900 pounds, they are a suitable target, but not easy to approach. A lioness recognizes her opportunity. In the tall, quiet grass, a young zebra is suddenly separated from the herd. The lioness silently approaches, each step carefully controlled. She lowers herself, crouching, preparing for the decisive moment.
Don't. Keep quiet. Cry. Don't move. Don't move.
Just seconds later, the chase begins. No roar, no warning signs, only speed and precision. The lioness lunges forward, using her weight to dislodge the zebra. Its neck quickly subdued, the zebra gradually loses its strength. The hunt ends cleanly. This success was the result of patience, the element of surprise, and the skill of choosing the right timing. A quick approach and a secure food source. African buffalo are among the largest prey animals on the plains. They can weigh up to 2,200 pounds, with thick horns and a sturdy gait. They live in herds, are resilient and united, and are known as formidable opponents. At the end of the dry season, when food and water sources are scarce, the buffalo herd moves more, gradually losing stamina. A young male lion follows behind, patiently observing. It doesn't pounce immediately, but waits for the buffalo to show signs of fatigue. When an older buffalo separates from the herd to rest, 3 lions coordinate their approach. The appearance of the mature male is crucial. With overwhelming strength, it helps subdue the target in a short time. Within minutes, the hunt is complete. The buffalo falls, and the lions get their rare meal. Despite their high resistance, buffalo still have weaknesses, and the lions, through coordination, timing, and collective strength, capitalized on that. This was a battle that demanded endurance, patience, and an understanding of the opponent's limits. Hyenas are highly organized pack hunters. Their success rate reaches 80% thanks to their impressive coordination, discipline, and endurance. However, despite their hunting prowess, they must always be wary of their greatest rival on the lion savanna. A group of young hyenas were foraging near the edge of a lion pride's territory. The rustling in the bushes didn't alarm them until a mature male lion suddenly appeared. Without roaring, without hesitation, it charged with speed and force, scattering the entire group.
Poor lions.
Should we stop it?
One young individual, unable to escape, was targeted. But before things escalated, 2 other lions appeared. Instead of attacking the hyenas, they turned their attention to their own kind. The atmosphere was tense. The first lion understood. Internal conflict was more dangerous than any enemy. It retreated, leaving behind its unfinished prey. The battle ended without a clear winner or loser. The lion's behavior clearly reflects this. In nature, even the strongest must abide by order and boundaries. Self-interest can be sacrificed, but stability within the pride is unwavering. Rhinos are among the largest and most powerful animals on the savanna. Weighing between 2,000 and 5,500 pounds, with nearly 2 inches of thick skin and horns over 5 feet long, they are formidable opponents. Lions rarely confront them directly, and if they do, their targets are usually calves or trapped individuals. In a rare instance, a young rhino became entangled near a dry mudflat. A pride of lions spotted the opportunity, but didn't rush. They observed, assessed the situation, and only approached when the calf appeared too weak to free itself. However, something unexpected happened.
Yes, come on, boy, yes.
The mother rhino turned around from a distance and advanced towards the lions. Despite their numbers, the predators hesitated. Aware of the danger, they gradually retreated. Ultimately, the young rhino was rescued. The success rate in confrontations with rhinos is very low. The rhino's caution and strong defensive instincts force lions to think carefully. This demonstrates that the predator does not always have the absolute advantage. Life in the wild doesn't distinguish between good and evil, only suitability or elimination. Each ambush, each silent advance, is a generational instinct. Lions may fail, but they never stop learning and adapting. For predators, perseverance is the foundation of true power.